So hello everyone, welcome to EduTap, and guys, welcome to your another important session in which we will be discussing again a very important report that is relevant for your upcoming examination of NABARD Phase 2 as well as for your examinations of SEBI and RBI. Now guys, talking about reports, so we have discussed again a very important report just a day before yesterday, that is about the Human Development Index. If you have not watched that specific video, guys, kindly watch that video also, because that is again very important for your examination. The link for that is given in the description below. Now talking about today's report, guys, today's report is a very important report because it is talking about the status of India's external debt for the year 2021-2022. That is a report that was seen in PIB, which is very important for your examination. Talking about the relevance of this report, guys, as we know, this report is equally relevant both for your phase 1 as well as for your phase 2 examination. Now the first question that will be coming to your mind is how we will be covering this report. In today's report, guys, I will be discussing around 8 MCQs which will be covering this report holistically. Then there are some technical terms which needs to be understood when you are preparing this kind of report. I will be explaining you about these specific terms also in this specific video. So now let's start with the first question of the report. That is, the important thing is who has released this specific report, because releasing body is very important for our examination. So who has released the specific report is the first question. Then guys, again I want to tell you one thing, that I want to request for you one thing is, try to solve the questions and tell me in the comment box how many marks you have scored from this specific report, the questions that have been asked from this specific report. So coming back to the lecture, guys, the answer here is that Ministry of Finance has recently released this status report on the external debt of 2021-22. So don't get confused with RBI or with Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It is being released by, that is, your Ministry of Finance. So see, on the August of 2022, this specific report is basically being released by Ministry of Finance. And if I talk about the specific department, the department here is Department of Economic Affairs, which is under the Economic Division. Now coming to this report, guys, so the first question is, what is total India's external debt as on March 2022 as per this report? Now here, guys, one thing that needs to be remembered here is, it might be a possibility that without giving the name of the report, the examiner might ask you a question, what is India's external debt as on March 2022? So this is again something important, because if you have seen the NABARD Phase 1 examination, there are some questions there which were directly from the schemes, but they have not mentioned the name of the scheme. For example, if I ask you a question on the breadwinners, there was a question on the ESI Act, which is basically from the Employee State Insurance Corporation scheme, ESI Act 1948. The question was there, okay? But without mentioning the scheme, nothing telling about the scheme, they have asked the question from the scheme. So similarly, they could ask you a question from this specific news also without mentioning the report here. So India's external debt as on March 2022 was, that is, around 620 billion. To be precise, it is 620.7 billion, which will be approximately 621 billion US dollars. Now, if I talk about India's external debt, it says India's external debt, total external debt is around 621 billion or 620.7 billion US dollars, which has increased by 8.2% from the previous year. Now here something is important that has been mentioned in this report here is, if I talk about total debt here, that in which currency we have basically borrowed the debt. So here it has been mentioned that around more than 50% of our debt is basically in the currency of US dollar. So this is something important here is, that is 53% of the external debt is basically in the form of US dollar, and around 31% of the money that we have borrowed is basically from the rupee denominated bonds or from the rupee denomination. So this is something important. The majority of debt that we have borrowed is basically in the currency in the form of US dollar. This is something that this line is specifying. So remember this thing carefully. इस चीज पे ध्यान रखना है कि किस चीज को वो सिग्निफाई कर रहा है. That is 53% total external debt को हमने किस में borrow किया? It is in the form of US dollar. That is the first point that needs to be remembered here. Why I tell you don't get confused here, that I will be explaining within this lecture कि कहाँ पे confusion हो सकती है. Then the next question is, which among the following category has contributed the maximum share of external debt as per this report in terms of creditors. So there is two terms which are known as creditors and debtors. तो creditors का मतलब होता है हमने किससे पैसा लिया, This is something that from where we have borrowed the money. If you have gone, if for the persons who are from the financial background or who are preparing for SEBI or be it for RBI, if you are preparing something related to finance. So creditors and debtors, there are two terms. Creditors means the persons from whom we are borrowing. They are known as creditors, and the person to whom we are giving money are basically known as debtors. तो याद रखना है. The question is basically asking you is in terms of creditors, who has contributed the maximum share in terms of India's external debt as per this report. So here are the options. ठीक है, that is commercial lenders, NRI deposits, short-term debt, trade-related credits or multilateral agencies. The answer here is that is option number A. Commercial lenders. So commercial lenders are the thing that is we have borrowed maximum money from commercial lenders. That is what this question is signifying to us. So remember this thing, creditors. In terms of creditors, it is commercial lenders. Coming to the thing here. So now here again a technical term is external debt as a ratio to GDP, which will be external debt to GDP ratio. इसका मतलब हुआ, the simple term it is signifying here is in terms of total GDP, what is the ratio of external debt? This is what signifies external debt to total GDP ratio. So coming back to the point, the external debt to total GDP ratio is basically it has decreased by 19.9 percentage from 21.2 percentage. So remembering data is important, but something that is very important to understand here are these key terms. External debt as a ratio of GDP means that is from total GDP, what is the percentage of external debt or what is the ratio of external debt is basically external debt to GDP ratio. Then this is external debt to GDP is 19.9 percentage. Then is foreign currency reserve as a ratio to external debt. So remember one thing guys, the simple thing to remember here is if it is talking about some term related to some term, simple याद रखना जो पहली वाली टर्म है उसकी रेशियो फाइंड करनी है फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट टर्म. दैट इज वी हैव टू फाइंड द रेशियो ऑफ द फर्स्ट टर्म फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट टर्म. हियर इट विल बी फॉरेन करेंसी रिजर्व फ्रॉम external debt. If we compare this ratio, then it is around, the percentage here is around 97.8 percentage. It says the foreign currency reserve is slightly lower, which is at 97.8 percentage, which was around 100.6 years. तो मतलब कितना foreign currency for talk about terms of foreign currency reserves in our external debt is around 97.8 percentage. These are the two terms which are easy to understand in terms of long-term debt and short-term debt. So long-term debt of total is around US dollar 499.1 billion, in which means in terms of original maturity, if the loans that we have borrowed for more than 3 years, the long term debts are around US dollar 499.1 billion, and the short term debts are that is consisting about US dollar 121.7 billion. So overall if I talk about guys, 80%, around 80% of the total external debt of India is consisting of the long term debts, ठीक है, and around 20% is basically talking about the short term debt that India has borrowed from the external sources. Now coming to the question that I have asked you, that is in terms of creditors. So in terms of creditors, there is a specific snippet that has been shared here that I have taken directly from the report. It says in terms of external debt, what is the debt that we have taken, the debt from which among the following? Creditors, as I have explained, means जिनसे हमने लोन लिया है. So here the maximum are commercial lenders, which is contributing around 36.7 percentage. They are followed by NRI deposits, then is short term debt, then is trade related credits, then is multilateral agencies, and at last it is trade creditors. ठीक है, so trade creditors, in terms of creditors, trade creditors are at bottom. ठीक है, now remember one thing here, if I combine these things, that is trade related credits, short term debts, NRI deposits and commercial lenders, they are contributing around 80% of the total external debt that we have borrowed from these specific sources. Now you have understood the point, that is हमने लोन कहाँ से लिया है, from where we have borrowed, that is creditors. What are our debtors, where basically loan we have provided. So in terms of debtors, the top 3 largest borrowers or the debt wise or the debtors are non-financial corporations. So maximum loan that the in the forms of external debt that we have provided are basically given to non-financial corporations, then it is given to deposit taking corporations, and at last it is general government. यानी कि अगर आपने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को कोई लोन दिया है, यू हैव गिवन लोन टू एनी यूटीज, दिस इज बेसिकली जनरल गवर्नमेंट. सो रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, क्वाइट बहुत माइन्यूट डिफरेंस है बट बहुत ध्यान से समझना है. रिमेंबर टू कीवर्ड्स, क्रेडिटर्स एंड डेटर्स. क्रेडिटर्स फ्रॉम whom we have bought the money. Debtors are those persons whom we have given the money. When we have bought, that is credit, that there will be commercial lenders at the top. ठीक है. In terms of where money we have given, it is non-financial corporations where the maximum money has been given in form of external debt. So this is something remember. This is something important to remember in this specific report. The next question is, guys, which among the following instruments has contributed maximum in terms of India's external debt? Which means in terms of total external debt, the maximum percentage or the maximum amount is basically invested in which of the following? Maximum debt आप किसका पे कर रहे हो? The maximum debt that we are paying is in the form of which instrument? That I have given you the option here. Let's see how many of you get your answer right here. Okay, that is trade credits, loans, deposits, special drawing rights, or the bonds and notes. And the answer here is that is in form of loans. So if I tell you here, in terms of India's external debt, 37% of the debt that we are paying are basically the loans that we have taken. So 37% amount is basically given for the in terms of loans. Then comes your deposits. That is the deposits that we have given. That is 23% amount is given in the form of deposits. 19% is trade credits, and bonds and notes are around 17%. SDR is सबसे lower है, यानी कि 4%. So remember this thing, maximum amount that we are paying is basically for which purpose? That is for the loans. This is something to remember here. जो हमने पहले पढ़ा था, that is creditors and debtors is in which form, from where we are getting, but we are paying in which form we are paying, that is loans are the contributing maximum, that is 37%. So now is coming to question number 5. The next question that I am asking you is, as per this report, what is India's short-term external debt by residual maturity up to 1 year as on March 2022? Now the term here that is important to understand it is because as I have asked you a question just a few questions earlier, what is the total external debt that we have discussed long term debt and short term debt. यहाँ पे एक कीवर्ड है that I have explained you there also, as per the original maturity or as per the residual maturity. Residual maturity basically signifies you when we are paying the principal amount. In the recent year when we are paying the principal amount, that is basically known as the residual maturity. It could be short term up to 1 year, 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years and more than 3 years. तो residual maturity में जब हम सिर्फ when we are paying the principal amount, ठीक है, that needs to be remembered. In terms of original maturity, we will be paying both the principal as well as the interest amount. But when we are paying basically the principal amount, that is basically termed as residual maturity. So in terms of residual maturity in the short term borrowing up to 1 year, what is India's short term external borrowing? The answer here is that is around $268 billion. So if I come to this question, okay, as per the residual maturity wise, if I talk about $US billion, so around 267.7 or I can say 268 billion $US we are paying for the short term up to 1 year. Then more than 3 years it is around $235 billion. तो देखो यहां पे क्या लिखा है मैंने, residual maturity refers to principal repayment due under all forms of loans, be it could be long term or it could be short term in a purpose of 1 year. That is the important thing about residual maturity. Then also you could learn this thing in detail in the thing that I have given in your PDF. ठीक है जी. चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, एज पर दिस रिपोर्ट द टोटल सॉवरेन एक्सटर्नल डेब्ट, द रिपोर्ट सेज दैट द सॉवरेन एक्सटर्नल डेब्ट this year is around 130.7 billion $, which has seen an increase of what percentage if we compare it from previous year? The answer here is that is, guys, it has seen an increase of 17.1% if we compare it from previous year. ठीक है. So March 2021 होगा, 22 नहीं होगा. That I will correct. ठीक है जी. Now coming back to this thing, it says that at the end of March, it says the sovereign external debt is around $130.7 million, which has seen an increase of 17.1%. And the reason that has been shared in this report is basically the allocation of special drawing rights to the India by the IMF. That is the main thing, that India's external debt has basically इंक्रीज, ठीक है, और सॉवरेन डेब्ट जो हमारा जो है वो इंक्रीज हुआ है, ठीक है. SDR rose to around $22.9 billion. In terms of non-sovereign debt, so two things we always remember is sovereign means the debt that is basically taken by government, and non-sovereign debt means the debt other than the government that we are basically taken other than the government agencies. That is, so non-sovereign debt कितना है हमारा, around $490.9 billion, ठीक है, which has seen an increase of around 6.1%, and their commercial borrowings, NRI deposits and short-term trade credits have played a very important role there. So now कमर्शियल लैंडर्स, वी नो इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्रेडिट बॉरोवर्स, मैक्सिमम लैंडिंग हमने कहां से की थी, कमर्शियल बॉरोवर्स और कमर्शियल लैंडर से की थी. व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट डेप्ट में, तो हमने नॉन फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन में ज्यादा पैसा दिया है. तो रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, आई एम रिपीटिंग दिस थिंग अगेन एंड अगेन गाइस, सो दैट यू गाइस कैन इजीली अंडरस्टैंड दिस रिपोर्ट, बिकॉज क्रेडिटर डेटर्स यू हैव टू एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस स्पेसिफिक रिपोर्ट. देन if I talk about in terms of top 3 components which have played major role in India's sovereign external debt, they are US dollar denominated debt, special drawing rights and the Indian rupee. In terms of multilateral debt, ठीक है, from multilateral institutions that we have borrowed the money, so from there the maximum amount of money that India has borrowed is basically from IDA, that is again a subsidiary of World Bank, International Development Agency, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, that is around 24.7% and 34.1. तो टोटल अगर मैं बात करूं, around 59% is basically borrowed from World Bank. Then 29.4% is Asian Development Bank, and now guys, New Development Bank, we are also borrowing from New Development Bank also. So here it is just around 5.4% is the borrowing that we have borrowed from New Development Bank. The other important thing to remember is in terms of multilateral agencies, it is IDA. But in terms of currencies, in terms of bilateral trade, the maximum loan that India has taken is from the country of Japan. Yes, the maximum debt that India in terms of creditors, that is Japan, that is followed by Germany and Russia. So remember this thing, we generally might confuse with USA or let's say China कि हम इनसे पैसा ले रहे हैं, but guys in terms of bilateral trade, our we would say the maximum debt or the maximum amount that India has borrowed is basically from Japan, that is around 74.8% is the credit that we have taken from Japan. Then it is 11% is from Germany, and then it is Russia, which is contributing around 10%. So this is something very, very important that needs to be remembered. Then the next question is, as per this report, India's gross external debt services payments were lowered at around $41.6 billion, ठीक है, and it is expected to rise because SDRs increase हुए तो हमारा external debt भी थोड़ा सा increase होगा, ठीक है. It is expected to increase by what amount in the year 2022-23, and the answer here is it is expected to increase by around $54.7 billion in the coming year. Now the thing to remember here is gross external debt services payments, which means the debt, the total payments that we are paying, हम उसमें से कितना डेप्ट पे कर रहे हैं. डेप्ट सर्विसेज पेमेंट इज बेसिकली दिस थिंग, ठीक है. सो ग्रॉस एक्सटर्नल डेप्ट सर्विसेज पेमेंट इज अराउंड $41.6 बिलियन, ठीक है जी. This year, which was around 49.4 billion in the previous year, it is expected to increase by 54.7 billion in the year 2022-23, and it will then again decrease to $40 billion by 2023-24. Now if I talk about in terms of external debt, the debt that we have paid, the majority of amount that India has paid in the past year is in the form of principal repayments, that is around 64%, and the rest is in the form of interest payments. And in terms of principal payments also guys, now it is easy to understand here, related the thing here, हमने सबसे ज्यादा पैसा क्रेडिट किससे लिया था? Commercial lenders. We are paying also to the commercial lenders. Commercial borrowings is the maximum principal amount. The largest principal repayment that we have made is basically for the commercial borrowers. So this was something that has been given there. Then guys, this is something that is a debt services ratio. Now here many of us might feel कि what is debt service ratio? तो मैंने आपको वही बोला जो पेमेंट, टोटल पेमेंट्स में से जितना आपने डेप्ट पे किया, डेप्ट को सर्विस थी, that is the amount from the total that we have paid basically for debt, that is basically known as debt service ratio. That is important here, that has been mentioned in this report, is it has now again declined to 5.2% from 8.2% previous year. So now guys, this was all about the report, but there is one very important trivial question that I have brought up with you. ठीक है जी, this was something that is given in the report, but there is some interesting fact that I found in the report, and I thought why not to have a discussion with you on that. The question that is here is that is an interesting trivia that I have found in the reports. That is, which country is the most heavily indebted country in the world? So now guys, here I will tell to you, pause here, solve the question, and tell me honestly in the comment box how many of you have got this answer wrong, or how many of you have got this answer right, because this is a trivial based question and here many of you might get confused here also. So which country is the most heavily indebted country in the world? The options are China, Russia, USA, Japan and France. The answer here is that USA. Yes guys, it is an interesting fact that has been shared in this report. The report also mentions, interestingly, USA is the heavy debt ridden country in the world, which is having around 22.6% of the world's debt is basically taken by USA. Then it is preceded by, it is followed by UK, France and Germany and Japan. These are the top 5 debt countries who are contributing the maximum debt. ठीक है, अगर मैं emerging developed economies में से बात करूं, then there are China and Brazil. ठीक है, third is India. In terms of emerging developed economies, the top 3 countries are China, Brazil and third is India, who are taking a lot of debt. And if I talk about overall, India stood at 23rd position globally with respect to external debt. So this was all guys that was discussed in this specific report. So I have tried my best so that I could do justice to the report, because I want to explain with you the basic terms also. ठीक है, what are the basic terms that needs to be remembered. Then I have tried to discuss with you the important data. So we have discussed the report holistically, terms भी समझी हैं, सब कुछ समझा है. ठीक है जी. And if you guys have liked the video guys, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. ठीक है, and then to get the access of the PDF of this lecture as well as the other material that we are providing on YouTube, what you have to do is subscribe to our Telegram channel, the link for which is given in the description below. So guys, this was all about the report. Again I will say, if you still have any kind of doubt, you could drop me an email at hello@aerotab.co.in, and you could also have a call with us at this number, that is 81462072441. So I hope guys the lecture is fruitful for you. Keep preparing, keep working hard, and you guys will definitely succeed in the examination that you guys are preparing for. So again, wishing you all the best for examination guys. Bye bye.